Hi there YouTubers, happy birthday to me, 52 today. I know I don't look a day over 30, but honestly I am 52. It's a bit of a, bit of a review from the knife shop, euphemistically called. I've not done much of this just lately. I've had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of bits of jobs and work and other things, so I've struggled a bit to get out here for the last 2 or 3 weeks. I've kept my, come out and just chipping away at little bits and pieces. I'm taking a day off today because it's my birthday, and I've actually just done a couple of hours of grinding practice. I've been practicing a lot more on my higher grinds. I mean, this is, as an example, this is one I'm doing for my lad. I've shown this a couple of times before, but I'm just not quite happy that I'm very pleased at the actual, how consistent I'm getting the grinds, but it's making sure both sides match up absolutely perfectly, as best as I can possibly get them, and that's what's not quite, it's letting me down that little bit. They're pretty bloody close, but not good enough. So I've basically just been chopped a couple of lumps of steel up and some other blades that I've not, that haven't come out very well, and it's basically just practicing and really getting the technique and experimenting with what causes what. So I've been doing a lot of that. However, not to waste this one because this has been hardened and tempered. I've put an edge on this one, so, and then basically that's going to allow me to give it a bit of abuse and see what it'll stand up to. We all know what squaddies are like with knives, even good ones. So yeah, so that's a bit of a job I've had done. I've been doing quite a bit of sharpening. I put a little video out lately. I've had a couple of friends wanting some kitchen knives and things sharp, but I finally got around to cleaning up my little garden parang. That's what I messed around with in the garden. It was well, it was a bit of a state, but anyway, she's ready for work. So that's another job I sat and I've got that sort of cleaned off. I do use the belt grinder just to take the real, take the worst of the, because it was rusted to hell, been left out. I've cleaned that up. I've got a lot of bits of blanks under here. Another one getting ready to grind for my lad. I've got a couple of wusks, and again I'm going to do a bit of practice on that. So I mean, I personally do love a Scandi grind. I just find they do everything I want, and the people who talk about what they do and don't do, I think my opinion is half the time people who get a Scandi and think, oh, it won't do that, actually they don't sharpen them properly, they don't put a proper edge on them, possibly just leave a bit of a wire on there. That is very difficult to see. But anyway, I'm going to have a bit of a practice with these at the 4 mils. I'm going to do a higher grind, and then I've got a couple of 3 mils, and I'm going to put the usual Scandi on them, probably around 26, 28, something like that. That's going to go onto them. So I've got bits and pieces there. The rest of today actually is just going to be still continuing just my grinding practice. A couple of knives I made a while ago. I've showed them on the little outing. I've again continuing to use these. So geez, they're finally starting to just bed in that little bit. This is the one I've used mainly. It's a 4 mil G10 scales, my Kaita, and it has I've braided it through some blooming good like Manica and Carnica and bits and pieces, Totoro, and I have got, there's a couple of little nicks in here that I haven't bothered getting out, but overall, you can just see that little nick. That's a good thing for paper. But other than that little nick that I couldn't be bothered to get out, really pleased with how it's holding the edge and how it sharpens up. So yep, so I've been having a bit of a play with that whenever I've had a chance, which isn't that much. Especially because Bensky, my little Springer, we've had him to the vets a few times. The last probably couple of months or longer now. He's had a bit of a limp, and he's my mate when I go in the bush. So if I'm not out actually hunting and stuff with some of my friends, I don't have time. I just haven't got the heart to go on my own. It's not the same. But he's had a bad leg for a while, so I started doing the bushcraft stuff, and it's died a bit of a death because I'm just not getting out there. Despite the fact I went over, the other film I put on at a hammock camp, but generally I'm not getting out there the same. But he's got a torn ligament in his bloody knee, so the vet says you've got to keep him in and keep him calm and keep him quiet. He's got bloody ADD. Oh, it's like putting a tornado in a carrier bag, keeping him in the house. But been also doing a bit of leather work. A couple of bits. I've just been. I've never put the ferro rod loops onto sheaths, so I've been doing a bit of experimenting with that, find out the best way to form them. Obviously the size, the position, all that kind of stuff. So I've been doing that. So if anybody wants them, obviously. Generally, a lot of the guys I have been doing for, apart from I've been doing the bushcraft stuff, most of them have been more the hunting, fishing side, so they're not that much of an interest, but it's still something I'd like to do. Sourcing bits of gear. This might sound really boring, but I've had to sit and I sourced myself some a new source for the snap clips. Because I couldn't find the ones that were long enough and strong for the 3mm leather. You can get all the haberdashery stores have the smaller ones, but I managed to source some of these from the UK and I fitted and bedded them in. So Artisan Leathers or something in the UK. I apologise if I've got that wrong, because they were really good, really helpful. Also made me up a stamp, so I've got a proper stamp for my leather, so I don't have to use separate letters now. I've got one little go, so that looks better. But yeah, basically I put these there and sit and play and just make sure that they stay in, they don't come loose, they've got a good grip on them, and you've just got to sit and give it a good bit of welling. You know, I've got luckily they've turned out really well, because I've got 2 big bags of them. I've got the nickel and the brass one, so it's another job, just something I've been starting again. It's sourcing stuff on the internet, trying to find things. I've been trying to source things that are for making my lad's knife. I'm starting to learn to work Kydex as well as G10 and things like that. Make some of my own loveless bolts and stuff. So again, all little bits and pieces that I just haven't had the time to film. I get an hour, I'm nipping out. I do try and do a bit of something when I get home before I have to go in. And on the leatherwork side, I've finished, I think I mentioned before, I was wanting to do my own stamp of sheath, something that I put myself into, and hopefully that's showing up. So this is what I've decided on. This is my latest one I've just made. I made a new one to go with the one of my little wusks. Obviously you can put holes in there for the bushcrafty dangler type thing, but at the minute I'm just stitched as is. And I've just sort of like, again, I know I've said before, I'm not great at coming up with brand new ideas, but I can see things that other people have done that I think work really well. I can pick 2 and 3 different ideas, put them together, or I can see an idea and learn how to adapt it for something else. That tends to be my strengths. And then just keep practicing. So like the shape of the belt langer, just exactly how I've stitched it, the actual shape and everything, and that would, with just slightly altering the blank of the leather, will let me do a variety of knives in there. This is my 3mm wusk, which I have shown before. Again, not getting much use, but so again, pleased with the consistency of the edge and the bevel and the grind. So especially on the Scandis, I'm very pleased with that. It's the higher grinds, getting that bang on consistency I'm looking for on the higher grinds that I'm still working on. Something else, I've done another batch of fire steels, 2.5mm veg tan belt loop, all the usual finishes and dyed and everything. You know, the dye, Resolene, Carnauba, Aussie, leather conditioner, neats for oil. Everything's gone onto there just like I would with the sheaths, paracord. Basically the little quick release loop, so this can be stored in your pocket. Oh, that's it. Antler top, red deer antler top, and the ferro rod, again all put together by myself. So there's a batch of those ready. A few of them have actually gone already. Something I've found really amazing is that when I first started this, I actually never really expected anybody to want anything. And obviously as I've improved and I've got a little bit better, I've got to the point where I've actually got a backlog of people wanting knives. Well, I can't call it much of a backlog, but for me, for the amount of work I get to do, it's a backlog for me. And you know, so I'm trying to finish these things off. So there's some of these already gone. And I've never even worked out how to sell anything. I keep meaning to get like an Etsy shop or something, or trade, but I'll sort that out. Something else I've been doing is also practicing my hand sharpening. And I've always prided myself on being able to put a decent edge on a knife, on anything really. But just trying to take it to that next level. And whilst I'm aware you can buy all the big machines and things like that, you know, that's not really what I'm to go. But I bought a Lansky, and I had a good play with that, and I've got to admit I like it, but it's got some real shortcomings. And what I tend to find, and what you do find, is that the angle alters depending on how far the stone is from where it's actually anchored. And so you can set that perfectly with your bevel straight down, but then when you're working a longer knife, the further out you go, the more that edge angle alters. So I did a bit of a Google and a bit of a search around, and although it's a bit Heath Robinson, I've actually made myself a setup which I believe answers those problems. And I've used it, and it works. Now there's no way you can use a Lansky on something with a Scandinavian bevel. You just can't do it. There isn't enough variation. I believe some of them have really altered by the variation. But again, like I said, the further you go from the centre point, the more that angle alters. And there's nothing you can do about that with them. Mine works. Any engineers out there fancy giving it a bit of a go? Bit of something else I did, like I say, adapting ideas. I made the box for putting the all my bits and pieces together, which is a little bit. Yeah, with bits and pieces that I've got on. Oops, that I've got ongoing already. Including the lance that's over there, and I just altered it, because I got sick of having bits of paper all over the place, and I couldn't find a box that fitted, so I've just made another one. Put my wet and dry in there, and it's very easy to get in. You know, easy to get in and out when I'm sat sanding. Keep my do little batches at a time. Saves time, saves effort. Just sits there. It's all ready for when I want it. So I suppose, you know, at the end of the day, really, I've been chipping away at all blooming sorts. I've got some bit more grinding to do, and I've got some other jobs to do. I've been helping some friends out and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much like I say. I suppose once I actually sit down and round things up, I suppose I haven't done too bad to say how little time I have. But anyway, I thought, just a bit of an update to where we're at, and happy birthday to me. And hope you guys have a great time. And thank you very, very much for watching. If you managed to make it to this point without dying of boredom. But I will put some other stuff out there. I'm going to put out there on how I made this and why it works and what it does. So that's a bit of one I'll get together shortly. And obviously maybe a bit more grinding and putting some things together when I have the time to be able to do the films and do the other stuff. Just seems to, like I say, time gets on its way. So with that, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, have a subscribe, get the information out there. I'm doing knife sharpening, I'm doing all sorts. New Zealand, Auckland, West Auckland. I'm here. And don't help if I don't really get the word out there, does it? I don't have time. And I'll crack on with my birthday. Catch you soon, boys.